Hey everyone, it's Zora, and I'm back with a new video, and today I'm going to be showing you a custom LEGO Forest Temple from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I'm just going to say that at the end of this video, I'll be covering some of the questions you may have regarding the lack of videos and uploads in the past few months, weeks, whatever. But right now, I just want to say it is, as of the posting of this video, the 20th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I'm super happy for that. It's also Zelda month, so double happiness. So yeah, really cool stuff happening. But yeah, let's get right into this video. Starting out with the lowest section of the Forest Temple itself, and starting out with one of the sections of it. This is representing, obviously, as you can probably already tell, the entrance to the Forest Temple from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. You can see the tree, and I really do like that, and some of the greenery that you will also see throughout the rest of this MOC. And you can see, of course, the stained glass windows. That color scheme for the stained glass windows I will continue throughout the MOC, as you will see. Just going to take away a link, and you can see one thing that is not in the thing itself, in the real Forest Temple in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, is this lower entrance. And what's cool about that is when you fold it in, it lines up. It's the same with both of the entrances, but I just wanted to add another just because I thought it would look kind of cool. And another thing that's fairly cool about the corroboration of these two parts is this stained glass window, because it follows through. So what you could do is you could get a light, and you could make it go through one and come out the other. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to this section, this represents a section of the Forest Temple in the video game itself, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and there are two of these areas. However, this is of course not perfect. The real one is much of a different shape than just a plain rectangle, but I think it represents many of the key aspects itself, you know, like the spiders on the walls, the greenery, of course, stained glass windows, and the pond, which is very important for me to include. So, yes. Moving on to the next level. The next level of the Forest Temple is representing one of my favorite parts of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time itself. Just the spooky atmosphere that's created by these giant mansion-like, kingdom-like walls and everything inside of it. It's just really cool, and I really do love it. But you can see right here a door that follows through with the other side. So just like the other one, you can kind of open it up and come in the other way, and I really do like that. And you can see the eye, which is very prevalent, and I know that some people do hate on it a lot just because it's a fairly simple puzzle to solve. You just look up, but I did have to include that because it is, you know, it is in the Forest Temple. And you can see the fire, which is lit the second you kill this Poe, which I will get into later, talk about later. And you can see right here, of course, the Poe comes out of that when you shoot it with an arrow, fire arrow if you want to, and you can see the stained glass window, which again leads in the other side, and you can see in this room a Stalfos, which I think works, and I'll talk about later, and you can see a treasure chest. What's inside? What's inside? Nothing inside. I guess it's disappointing to you, but yeah. That's pretty much it. You can also see another different colored fire piece, but I did not decide to include another Poe, just because I didn't feel like that would be very interesting. Just two of different colored Poes, not that interesting. Okay, moving on now for the one, the only, the boss room itself. One of my favorite bosses, you know, in the entire game. And now I said that this is one of my favorite things, but you know, that's why I created it. And you can see that the paintings are there, and I am glad that they are, but they're not, you know, perfect. They obviously do not have any real design except for blackness, so that's not great, but I had to sacrifice that because I wanted to be able to have them, you know, break apart. So yeah, you can see that there is the fence, but there are not four of them, obviously, because if there were, then they would, you know, break in the middle, and that wouldn't work. Just kind of the same problem as the paintings. So sacrifices had to be made, but I'm glad with how it turned up looking like. And of course, there's Ganon, which I made a video on, so I'm not going to be covering this guy anymore, but Phantom Ganon is in a different video, link in the description below, if you're interested. So yeah, moving on now to cover all of the minifigures and monsters, obviously not this guy. You can see Link, I covered this guy extensively in a video, link in the description below, so I'm not going to cover him anymore here. However, you can see the Stalfos, which I did not cover before, and it took a lot of tugging and pulling, which is kind of what LEGO's all about, to get this to the design that I liked. to get the colors right, to get them uniform, but still, you know, representing a Stalfos. And of course, I had to include the stud to represent the little helmet. you can see a worm coming out, of course, because why not? You can see this head is actually from an Ninjago set, and you can see this guy as well, the little Poe. And I think, of course, you can use this design, if you so please, to make all of the other Poes, and I encourage you to do that, because that's kind of cool. And of course, he has to be holding his torch. I'm not going to cover exactly how to build, because I'm pretty sure that you were smart enough to build this from just what you can see. By the way, this hat uses a rod, as you can see right there. So, yeah, moving on. And there you have it, the Forest Temple itself. One thing I'm very glad that I was able to capture through this mock is the, the mansion-ness of the entire thing. Of course, you can see that it is this giant-looking, rectangular, 3D object, and I kind of like that because it kind of does end up looking like a giant mansion, which I am glad to have accomplished, as I have previously stated. And I just want to say, this is one of the most epic temples in The Legend of Zelda itself. Just walking out of the Temple of Time and looking around, trying to find something in this world that you don't understand anymore, and then finding this giant, massive mansion. Just, you could never have found, because, of course, you didn't have the hook shot, but I feel like I'm rambling a little bit right here. I just want to say, Ocarina of Time, fantastic video game, my favorite video game of all time, and of course I had to have played this video game at the right time, because if I played Breath of the Wild beforehand, I just don't think I would understand it as much as I did when I did play it. One of the first video games I played that was not on the DS, so obviously a big step up from that. Yeah, so, I think that about covers it all, folks. I just want to say that the reason I have not been posting videos is very simple. It's high school. High school is very difficult. High school is very hard. And by hard, I mean there's homework, and I didn't ever really had to do homework before or study at all. Period. I feel like I'm rambling again, but I just wanted to cover that. I'm hoping to post more videos. Obviously, if you watched the end of one of the last videos I made, then you would have seen a hint for something very big, which I still have not finished. I apologize for that. But yeah, still be hyped. Ocarina of Time, I love you. Happy 20th anniversary. You're older than I am. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.